Now that you have your first row nailed and sheathed, obviously in this scenario we have a short distance to work with right now, but on a bigger job with larger floor distance, you'll have many more sheets to lay on that first row before starting the second row. With that said, we'll start our second row. You want the sheets to always stagger more, 2 or more joist spaces, preferably a half a sheet. So here, you want to take your first measurement, measured from the outside of the rim joist. And here actually we are just slightly over 4 feet. We are actually at 50.5 inches, measuring to the center of this joist where our sheet will land on. So now we'll go cut our sheet and bring it back and put it in place for the second row. Now that you're ready to measure out and cut your first sheet of plywood for the second row, look on one end of the sheet, put a mark at 50.5, mark the other side of the sheet at 50.5. Then we're going to chalk our line across from mark to mark to create a nice straight line that we can follow as we cut. Snap the line. And remember, before we cut, that we want to set the depth of the blade so that it's no more than about 1/4 inch past the depth of the plywood. So on the back of the saw, as we learned in the safety video on how to use the circular saw, pull the adjustment lever up. And on the back of the saw, we can see numbers from 2, 1.5 inch, and inch. As we are using 3/4 inch plywood, I will set the saw at 1 inch. Again, make sure your safety glasses are on, earplugs, and you can begin your cut. Now that the sheet is cut, we'll bring it over to lay down on the second row of our sheathing. Make sure the second row has glue down before laying the sheet of plywood for the start of the second row. Lay the first sheet of plywood down in place, again trying not to adjust it too much from side to side. Adjust the sheet so that the tongue slides into the groove just a little bit before stepping on the sheet. Using a sledgehammer and a 2x4, hit the 2x4 into the sheet. This will make the tongue and groove joint nice and tight. Once you determine that the joint is tight, set a nail on the top of the sheet, holding the sheet in place. And don't forget to measure the joist spacings to ensure that the joists are aligned in a straight manner. If you want, you can always set another nail into the other joists once they're on their marks. Then you can proceed to nail the sheet off with the gun.